So this isn't exactly my usual type of content, but we need to discuss this because it's just horrific and sad and downright evil. Melissa Barrerra, the lead actress of the new Scream films, has been fired from the upcoming Scream 7 because of vocalizing her support for Palestine in the current situation going on there. And that situation is literal genocide. It's really not as complex or nuanced as the media is making it out to be. It's not a both sides issue. Palestinians who have been oppressed by the Israeli government for longer than you can imagine are the victims of a genocide. And Melissa Barrera is one of the very few celebrities to say genocide is happening and genocide is bad, and she's getting punished for it. She faces consequences for saying something quite literally everybody should be saying, and there's a whole rabbit trail I could go down about how the US benefits from supporting Israel, so they're trying to mislead people about the reality of the situation and are also trying to keep influential people from speaking out against them, so they've got the whole entertainment industry in a chokehold. But most people can see right through that crap. We know what's happening, we can see it. Celebrities are still scared to speak out though because their own careers and livelihoods are on the line, which is infuriating and disturbing and dystopian. So there's also this claim that Melissa Barrera was not fired simply because she's pro-Palestine, but because she was being anti-Semitic, which A, no she wasn't, and B, that's the oldest trick in the Zionist propaganda playbook to blame anti Semitism and conflate being against the oppression of Palestinians with having prejudices towards Jewish people. It's absolutely ridiculous and pathetic because the people who are against the atrocities are not against them because they're being inflicted by the Israeli government. They're against them because they're horrific, and if anything, it's anti-Semitic to claim anti-Semitism in this case because you'd have to be collectively grouping together all Jews to think that. Anyway, I'm not going to get too much into that, but I do find it particularly appalling that Noah Schnapp can still be employed after saying Zionism is sexy, and Amy Schumer, amongst many others, also face no repercussions. They're pro-genocide, period. And Melissa Barrera is the one being blacklisted, as well as Susan Sarandon, a huge legendary actress. Like, nobody is safe. So, as a huge Scream fan, I've been absolutely eating up this revival era, and we just came off the most financially successful installment in the franchise with Scream 6. I was excited to see where they would go next, especially with the rumored winter setting, and while I was not a fan of Melissa Barrera's character in Scream 5, I think she completely redeemed herself in Scream 6, and I became invested in her and all the other new characters. But now, my excitement has almost completely diminished, and I have a horrid taste in my mouth. Less than a day after it was announced Melissa Barrera had been let go, Jenna Ortega reportedly departed from the project as well, due to scheduling conflicts, despite there being no clear production schedule. And I mean, it was discussed months back that she might not return due to being one of the busiest actresses in Hollywood, but I think they were still trying to get her in it. But the timing here is more than coincidental, so without them, I don't even see how a Scream 7 could work. We were following their arc, their storyline. They introduced Scream to a whole new generation, and it's just going to be interesting to see how this pans out because Spyglass Media Group, who owns the rights, really just shot themselves in the foot for absolutely no reason. Nobody was calling for Melissa Barrera's firing. That was completely on them. And did they really think the rest of the cast and crew would just go along with it? I hope they drop it, to be honest. And especially after showing support for Palestine, many of them have in the past. But they also could be contracted. So yeah, this thing is just dead in the water now. It's been needlessly sabotaged, and I guess that's instant karma for being evil, Spyglass Media Group. You could have avoided all this, and this statement that they put out, so false and misguided and insane, and Melissa Barrerra should sue them for defamation. I hope they drop the rights, someone else picks them up, not Blumhouse though, and continues making the film with both Barrera and Ortega, because I just won't be enthusiastic about the film any other way. I'm sick about this whole thing, and I, I really don't know what else to say other than I stand with Melissa Barrera. I hope others do as well, and I know it's scary for them because their whole livelihoods are on the line, but what is happening in the world right now is just, it should not be ignored.